Welcome back, my friends, to another installment of Morale Manager 26, because we are in an absolute freefall at Ituano. After we lost 4 in a row in our last episode, well, not in the last episode, but before and leading into the last episode, we dropped another decision, this time at home against São Bernardo by a score of 2-1. The good news is Gabriel Rosera did get on the score sheet for the first time in a very long time, and the first time this year. Then we took on Inter de Limeira, a team that I thought we were going to absolutely positively dominate, and they scored first in the 8th minute. It took a J. Carlos finish in the 51st. It was actually a nice goal, but I thought we should have had more opportunities. We did come away with a point and maintained that 5-point cushion over Inter de Limeira. But we followed that up with a 2-1 loss at home against Guarani FC, a match where we took the lead again on the back of Gabriel Rosera 9 minutes in, but then they sent one over the top, found João Victor to tie things up, and then a very poor play defensively in goal by Saulo led to an Isikake goal, which made it 2-1, and we dropped all 3 points, and then we could get nothing done, although it was a better match in general for us against Grêmio Novorizontino, 0-0 on the road. Not great, my friends. That means we find ourselves, if I can find my way into the match, the competition, we got to go the long way around because we're getting started to enter the Brazilian Cup. So we go into Brazilian competitions, men's, Brazilian State Championships. Holy Moses. Sao Paulo State Championship. We are down in 12th. Just 3 points ahead of Agua Santa. With 1 match remaining, we're going to get to that final match. So once again, we find ourselves potentially on the brink of relegation, because if you notice there, we are on the same goal difference. So if Agua Santa manages to win and we don't pick up a point, they will jump ahead of us. Now, Capivariano and Ponte Preta are still behind us by 1 and 2 points respectively. Could they potentially stay behind us and one of them get relegated? Absolutely, positively. We absolutely, positively need to win that match. But first, we're taking on Real Noroeste, a team that we are favored against, so we're going attacking in this one. We are on the road. It is the first round of the Copa de Brazil. Saulo in goal. I'm really regretting letting Pegarari leave at the end of his contract. I probably should have tried to re-up him. I put a little bit more faith in Saulo than I probably should have. Gabriel Abdias is going to, I'm just tripping all over my words today. Gabriel Abdias is getting the start as our left back for 2 reasons. One, he looks pretty good, and he is one of our better training players at the moment, because our team dynamics are in the absolute toilet. Look at the morale. All poor, fairly poor, quite poor. Nothing is good. We even had a meeting with a number of members of the team. Saulo and I want to say J. Carlos was there. They were the only players that I really care about their opinion that were in that meeting, that said that morale was poor and what was I going to do about it. And I told them that they should try to start winning some games and they'd feel a little better. We have also made tweaks to the tactic. By the way, that meeting did not go very well. So Abdias is in there. A big part of that is because we just don't have a lot of players available, and we got to try something up. Lucas Diaz is getting the start on the right side. Mateus and Carlau are our stalwarts at the back. We actually haven't been that bad defensively, all things considered. Victor Reese is in for Daniel Rodrigo. Haruki is going to drop down into that center mid position. Oliveira's on the right. Lucas Stefanello making his first start of the season on the left wing, and Gabriel Rosario, J. Carlos are up front. I do not know what to expect out of this match. This is a team that is in a league below us. I don't know how many leagues there are below us. I'm going to guess probably the league below us. In the Brazilian pyramid, we have not won in quite some time, but if we can get a victory here, it could go a long way to ensuring our survival in the Sao Paulo State Championships. I can't believe the team came to me and said, we're unhappy because we're unhappy. I'm like, dude, make yourselves like, I am not in control of your happiness. I technically am, because there are things I can do, and I have been trying to do to raise their morale artificially. You know all of the tricks. I don't need to go over them here, as it looks like Real Noroeste in control at the edge of our final third, trying to find a way in past our back line. Can they find it? They do. Luan in, he slots one home, and all of a sudden we're down 1-0. I mean, seriously, for the love of God, what does it take? We do not, through 15, 16 minutes, even have a single shot on goal against this team that we should be absolutely dominating, and I don't understand why. Let's take a quick look at the tactic. Maybe we will try to progress along the flanks. That is not something we have typically done. We've gotten a little bit more direct in recent matches. We have knocked the tempo up a tiny bit in recent matches. We finally do have a shot on goal. It was on target, but not a very good one, looking at that XG. Let's see if we can work it out of the back and put some pressure in Noroeste and pull ourselves even in this match. If we go out in the first round of the Copa do Brasil to a team behind us, now the expectation of the board is only for us to make it to the first round, so check, mission accomplished. Abidas in, cuts it back, and he finds Victor Reis. Victor Reis with the goal, his first of the year. Gabriel Abdias with his first assist of the year, and we are even just under 33 minutes into this match. Gabriel Abdias, he thought he might have a lane, and he found one. Victor Reis made the goalkeeper Almeida go to his left to try to cover as much of the goal as possible. Ended up slotting it home in the area that he had vacated. And all of a sudden, we are starting to look like the team that we should have been looking like over these last couple of weeks. Well, frankly, a lot of weeks. The fact that we only have 8 points through 11 or 9 points, I should say, through 11 matches, when we had 7 points through 3, is pretty damning. Jay Carlos going for it. Almeida getting his hand on it and tipping it out behind. Will we see the corner? We will not. And after 45 minutes of play, we'll find out what's going to happen. There is one final highlight. Free kick. Mora getting it back from Luan. Fabricio Mora playing it out left. He's got Gabriel Rodriguez, who makes his way past his man, cuts it deep, but Saulo able to hang on, and that should, my friends, do it for the first 45 minutes. Not our most inspired half of football, but it could have been much worse as we picked things up a little bit. Now, I'm still not happy with our performance out there. Hopefully, we will be able to get a little bit more out of our wingers. Stefanello and Vinny Oliveira not really doing a whole heck of a lot at the beginning of this match. It's been all Gabriel Abdias and Victor Reis. So Jay Carlos and Gabriel Rosera not really factoring in. Haruki also not doing much coming out of the midfield as well. So we may need to make a change there. Let's see what happens, though, as we get a highlight in the 55th minute throw-in. Rosera gets around his man, cuts it into the box. Side angle shot, hits the side netting. He probably should have tried to put it into the middle, but hindsight, my friends, is 2020. And that is a vision that I have not had in a very, very, very long time. 60 minutes have been played, still 1-1. We're taking it to them a little bit, although a couple of offensive opportunities for Noreste in recent moments. As we move 65 minutes in, we are going to look to make some adjustments. Let's get Lucas Stefanella out. We'll bring Dudu in. He's looking composed. Jay Carlos a bit apprehensive. I did have him in the last match as a poacher. I'm going to make that change if it will let me. It did, but it's not. There we go. But we're going to take Jay Carlos off and put in Gui Miranda. And that will be it. You know what? Rodrigo, you're not really doing the job. Let's get Lipe in. If we just have yet to break through a second time, we will need to get the ball back if we want something to happen. An opportunity for Noroeste to take control. Cleared away by Mateus. It's one back. Rosero to Reese. Lipe will leave it for Dudu. Cuts outside of his man, takes it into the box. Dudu is in. He'll shoot, and Almeida will grab that and hang on for what is a fairly routine save at the end of the day. Maybe a better opportunity for Dudu. He could have taken a better shot, but at least he was taking his opportunity, and that's something we maybe haven't done as much as we should have in recent matches. Not getting those shots off that we should. 10 minutes remaining in this match, and I am starting to get a little bit nervous as the ball is in our box. Ooh, what an intervention there. No penalty call. Dudu dribbles ahead. Rosera out wide. Abdias finding Dudu in traffic. Rosera into the middle. Finds Lucas Diaz. Lipe turns. He's got Gui Miranda, who picks out the side netting inside. He is onside. The flag stays down, and Ituano takes a 2-1 lead with less than 8 minutes left in regulation. And I hope that that is going to be enough to not only secure victory and a spot in round 2, but to finally start getting Ituano back on the right path and back to our winning ways. At the end of the day, we ended up with a pretty good XG, a ton of shots on goal, lots of shots on target, good possession, and most importantly, a 2-1 win. Oh, but before we get to the next match, something from FM24 that absolutely drove me crazy is still in FM26. Nathan Silva is a bit concerned with his agreed playing time. He wants to have it reflect the fact that he's good enough to be a regular starter. Dude has been injured since the preseason. The reason he hasn't played, the reason I don't consider him anything more than what he is now, is the fact that he has been injured and hasn't been able to play. And yet, he's still bitching and moaning. So I went to have a conversation with him and actually did have an option to say, hey, dude, you've been on the sidelines. Just keep your head down. It'll be fine. And his response was, I feel ready to contribute. If you can't offer me what I want, I'll just have to look elsewhere. Dude. All right, my friends, do or die. Final match against Santos in the Sao Paulo State Championship. A win, and we continue on for another year. A loss, and things could get super duper interesting. JP is going to get the start as our right back because Lucas Santos is out on suspension. He picked up a yellow card in the last match in the competition. Juan Richard is back in as our left back. That is because we never registered Abdias for this competition, because who knew he was actually going to make a difference. Vinny Oliveira is going to be our left wing. Nicholas is going to be on the right side. Jay Carlos and Gabriel Rosera are up front. And we'll have a midfield 2 of Victor Reese and Danielle. Hopefully, us coming off a victory, even though it was in a different competition, is going to carry over into this performance. A win against Santos, while not an absolute must, is pretty much absolutely required. So we need to get off to a fast start, and we need to be able to hang on to that victory. Now, I did set it to attacking for the last match, but it carried over, so we're going to drop things back to balanced. Right now, things seem to be fairly even. The difference is Santos has hit the target twice, and we have not, but we have a great opportunity. Danielle with a free kick. He is fantastic with these from a dangerous position, and he hits it off of the post. Mancini tracks it down. Danielle's got it, plays it back post looking for Nicholas. He is unable to get his head on it. It's cleared, and Fernandez is going to start the counterattack for Santos. Luckily, that's not going to really trouble us all that much because, well, the highlight ended, which means nothing really happened but the final third throw-in for Santos and a chance to go up 1-0 as they put it in. Yeah, we're terrible back there. Neymar with the goal. Probably not that Neymar, but who knows at this point. And Santos taking a 1-0 lead in this match. And the final third throw-ins are still way too OP for the opposition. Yeah, we just leave Neymar all alone. Nobody picked him up. Danielle was out there, and I believe JP as well. Yeah, no, it was Victor Reese and Danielle. Unable to pick him up. So as we look at the live table, we can't see the live table. We can, if we pull it up this way, and we go to the league stage. No, it's not going to pull up the league stage, the group stage. All groups. And that doesn't really tell us anything now, does it? knocked forward by the keeper. We are in the final minute and a half of stoppage time here in the first half. Moving it forward, Nicholas quickly overtaken, throwing it forward, looking it for Reese, cleared away by Jesus, but Nicholas is there to collect the ball along the far sideline, gets past his man, puts it in back post. Gabriel Rosera over the outstretched arm of the goalkeeper, but off of the crossbar, and we just are getting so unlucky. We have hit the woodwork twice in this first half. It should be, or very well could be, I should say, 2-1 at this point. Sadly, though, it is not. Victor Reese, JP, over the top. Jay Carlos isn't going to get there before Diogenes comes off of his line to grab and collect that one. Just 20 seconds remaining in this first half, but the highlight continues. Ball sent long. Mateus Mancini will head it out wide. JP going long again, too far in front of Jay Carlos, so Diogenes grabs it again, and there we finally get the halftime whistle. Santos with the 1-0 lead. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a look at the table. The problem is this competition's table is just wrong. We win it back, but Santos given a free kick. Gabriel Rosera called for the penalty. Maybe if we look at, when we get an opportunity, the other scores, it's really just that one match that makes the biggest difference to us. All right, while we're here, we're going to look at the latest scores, and it just gives us the live table. There are the scores. We are looking at the Agua Santa match right here against Gremio. We need Gremio to win or the match to continue as a draw, because Agua Santa is really the only team that we are actually worried about. We can be leapfrogged by the other teams behind us, but Agua Santa needs to remain in the relegation zone for any of this to work. And oh my God, what a free kick by Neymar. Hits the crossbar, hits the ground. I think it hit the crossbar again before they headed it home. Let's take another look at this. Yeah. Crossbar, ground, crossbar, head of Vitor Carvalho. It is 2-0 Santos, but Agua Santa still drawing 0-0. They cannot win. If they win, we are in deep, deep, deep trouble, my friends. And this journey can be over at the end of this episode. Oh, my God. Saulo, you got to hold on to those, brother. Agua Santa, please lose. Gremio, do something. Now, we drew Gremio, so they don't have a lot of goals in them, but maybe their defense is good enough to hold on. Our offense in this match has been tragic. Jay Carlos, Victor Reese not having good matches. They are both coming out right now. Gui Miranda is in. Victor Reese is off. He will be replaced by Lipe. And Gabriel Rosera, come out. We'll put in Rodrigo Haruki. We know that Haruki can score goals. Let's see if he can get one potentially in this match. At least get us back into it. Because right now, things ain't looking good. Over the top. Too far over the head of Haruki. But Lipe wins it back. JP takes it into the box. JP with it. Shoots and he scores. JP with a fantastic solo effort. Coming from the right back position, Lipe will get credited with the assist. That's very similar to the goal that Thacio scored last year. The only difference is Thacio kind of ran along that byline. Agua Santa, according to the scoreboard that is in front of us, still tied 0-0 with Gremio. But anything is possible. Neymar leaves it back. Rodrigo Fernandez shoots it. It's deflected in. It's 4-1. But we are intently looking at that scoreboard. We're going to make another change. Lucas Stefanella is going to come in as our left wing. Corner sent in. Mancini can't get his head on it. It's cleared as far as Vinny Oliveira. Oliveira makes a nice move to take it deep. He's in the box, drops it back, finds Nicholas. It bounces around, finally off the head of Oliveira, but Diogenes is there to make the pretty easy save at the end of the day to maintain that 3-goal lead. And then he sends the ball forward. It's right to Neymar, but he will head it out of bounds. And Fernandez is going to head off in place of Jay Rafael. Still no score between Agua Santa and Gremio. This is coming down to the very last second. I swear to God, Football Manager, why do you keep doing this to me? Quan Richard, back post. Carlisle comes to Lipe, and he sails it over the bar. Just 10 minutes remaining in this match. I know we're not going to do anything. We're still going to go on very attacking because that's just the way we roll, but it ain't looking good. Although Ponte Preta is losing. So if Ponte Preta stays behind us, then we're still okay. But Inter is winning 2-1 over Guarani. Which is not a result that I expected. So Agua Santa, please, please, please stay at 0-0. I beg you. And it looks like they will. We're going to lose 4-1. We're going to address the team one last time. We're going to tell them we don't like what we saw them. I don't care if Nicholas seemed demotivated. That is not my concern right now. My concern is where are we? And that is 12th. We ended in 12th on 9 points. A supremely disappointing finish. But Agua Santa and Inter de Limeira are relegated out of the top flight of Sao Paulo State Championship, and we remain in the competition. We're going to start our season in Serie C in the next episode. We also have a cup match against Nautico. We're going to do that one off camera because I'm pretty sure I know how it's going to end up. So come on back as we kick off our regular season next time. If you've been enjoying the series, thank you so much for supporting us so far. Drop a comment down below. Where do you think we, now that we have more information, are going to finish in Serie C? We're expecting mid-table. I would like to do better than that. Do you think we're going to be able to do it? Are we going to be able to outperform? Or are we going to be potential relegation fodder? Let me know in the comments below. Continue to hit like, continue to subscribe to the channel, and continue to come back for the next episode. Until then, my friends, bye-bye.